If your sales page is not making sales, it's probably not because your offer is bad, it's because your page is confusing, and confusion never sells. Because there's actually a structure to a high converting sales page, and that's what I'm going to show you in this video. Most people will spend hours to make their pages look pretty, but they completely forget to optimize them for sales. Because every section has actually a purpose and a goal to fulfill, and the order matters as well. Because when you guide somebody through your page in a clear, logical flow, saying yes becomes so much easier. So I'm going to break down what exactly goes in what section and how to put them in the right order. You can follow along and rebuild the page in your own platform, or if you're using System.io and you want to save a ton of time, you can grab my sales funnel template that's already set up in System.io via the link in the description. One click install into your account, and all you have to do is to change the colors in the text, plug in your own offer, and you're ready to sell. Okay, so I'm going to explain the sections by looking at this example sales page for a small low ticket product for $27. It's a guide to help parents to get their kids to listen. So the most important section of your whole page is the first bit that you see without scrolling, which we call the hero section. The goal of this section is to grab attention and straight away explain the transformation that we're offering here. Just like anything today that you put on the internet, you've got a couple of seconds to convince somebody that it is worth their time and they keep reading. Otherwise, they are gone. So you really want to make sure that you nail this section, and it might take you a while and you might have to come back to it, and that's fine because it is that important. So the content of this section is usually some sort of an image. I like to have it here on the left-hand side. You could also make it as the background and then fade it over. If it is a clear product, you can have a mock-up here of an iPad or book or whatever it is. And then you want to make sure that this headline is really sticking into the eye and that it is a good hook. So our ideal customers for this page here are parents who have problems that the kids are not listening. So if you're a parent, you probably understand the problem that you're talking and saying things 10 times and your kids are not listening. So this kids who listen the first time sounds amazing without yelling, bribing, or nagging, because these are all the things that we've already tried. So this sounds really good. And then I like to put the name of the product up here. So the magical 7-minute listening method. So if I have this problem, this gets me interested. So in the headline, you want to talk about the end result. So in this case, kids who listen the first time, that's what we want to achieve. And then you have the subheadline that explains a bit more of how we're going to do this transformation. So you could also have, this is a 7-minute ritual, mindset routine, whatever it is to achieve this thing. Then you want to list out like 2 to 3 benefits. Make sure these are benefits, not features. You don't want to say like you get a PDF or a recording or stuff. Like we want to talk about the benefits. So this thing is actually going to help you to stop repeating yourself and the nagging. Instead, you're going to have a predictable, stress-free routine. So that all sounds amazing. And then also don't forget to have a button up here. I see so many pages that don't have a button and you have to scroll to actually buy the thing, because there might be somebody who wants to buy straight away and we don't want to make them work for it. And after we nail this hero section, there are a few different ways of how you can arrange this flow. But in this example and in this template, I followed kind of the most used flow. So then the next section's goal is to build an emotional connection and show your person that you actually understand where they are at. Because if you don't understand my situation, I'm not going to believe that you can solve my problem. Makes sense, right? So a lot of the times you see these sections being very vague and superficial and very generic. So the more personal you can make this, the better it works, obviously. So you really like telling a story of you're calling your kids for breakfast and it's like talking to the wall. You could even make this like more storytelling. This kind of frames it quite well. If you're a parent in that situation, you can find yourself in that and you feel, oh yeah, I know that feeling very well. And then the next section I like to do is called like a reframe or belief change section, where you want to show them that you understand the problem even deeper, that they might understand it themselves. So in this case, you're saying that the problem is not that your kids are not disciplined or that, they're not listening. The problem is actually that you don't have a connection with them and you're not communicating clear enough so that they understand. So you are shifting their belief, and therefore you're already giving them a little win of, oh, I didn't think about it this way, right? Like I've already learned something, that my solution is going to live not in me talking louder or whatever. It's actually that I need to communicate clearer and I need to create connection first. And those are the things that I'm missing. So I've already learned something here and I understand that you understand the problem at a deeper level. And then we get to the story relatability section, where the goal is to build trust because you're telling the story of how you lived through the same problem and solve them in the end. So you didn't just find this thing, you actually lived through it and it worked for you. So you just tell the story, don't make it too long, as long as it is engaging. And so you can see, I always like to bold parts so that you can scan read this. By the way, the whole page, these headlines of each section, you want to make the page scan readable by headlines. Here, you don't want to put the problem or struggle or whatever. You want to make it something about the content so that somebody could actually read the page by just scanning the headlines without going into the small copy, because a lot of people actually do that. So still repeating yourself 10 times a day. It's actually not about this, it's about this. I used to do this myself, and this is my solution. And then we get to the solution product introduction section. So the goal of this is obviously to introduce our product as the solution to their problem. So we want to talk about what it is, how it works, and why it is super simple to do, and they should definitely get it. And then the next section, we go even deeper into the features and benefits of the offer. And so you are going to talk about the features. However, you always want to tie them back to the benefit, right? So the 10-minute video walkthrough to see how to communicate the daily routine checklist to reduce the nagging because nobody cares about the checklist unless they know what it is for. You can also see that we have these buttons and CTAs spread throughout the page. It's a little bit up to you of how many of those you want to put. You could literally put them on every section. I like to not overdo it. I could probably have a couple more. And so what I like them to do is that when you click them, they all scroll down to the actual order form, which we're going to get to in a minute. But yeah, they all basically scroll down and up the page so they get to the order form, because I like to have the order form on the same page, not go to another page. But we'll get there in a minute. So, and then also obviously you can have a mock-up here of the product, so that is visually really easy to get what it is, and also it looks amazing and it looks like a lot that you're getting for your $27. And then we have the future vision section, where the goal is to help them to visualize life after they've bought the product, right? So you really want to write this in a way that is very visual. So instead of repeating yourself, your kids are going to listen the first time you ask, you feel calmer, more confident, in control of your day. Your mornings and evenings become smooth, stress-free, and predictable. You have more energy, This is not a dream. You can actually have this with this thing. So then after they have imagined how amazing life is, it becomes really easy to then go, okay, of course, I'm going to get this. So we have the order form, make it really easy to check out. You could have this headline here with a little text again. I also like to put this under here, a bit of a repeating of what you get, just to confirm. As I said, very easy order form, payment information. So if you have this actually built in System.io, it's going to come up here with the price and product name. And then you've got your payment methods, and here your button, and there we go. So I like to put some testimonials right under the order form if it is a bigger price offer. And if you have lots of testimonials, you can spread them throughout the page rather than having one big block of all of them. That usually works better. Just plug them at certain spots. Sometimes it's also really good to have a few very short ones like right under the hero section. It depends a bit on what you are selling. And then some people might check out here already. However, most of the time people will keep scrolling and then go back. So the testimonial and social proof section is obviously there to build trust that other people have used this and they've had great results. Depending on what it is, you might also have a larger case study section where you show the before and after of somebody. In this case, this already tells a lot. Like, my kids started listening the first day. It's amazing. The guy actually changed how we communicate. And then we have an about and credibility section. The goal of this is to establish authority and trust. So actually explaining who you are, that she's not just a parent, she's actually a certified parenting coach, and all the things that she's done. And she has also created this thing. This could also include like publications where you've been featured. If you have those things, that you could have those logos like further up on the page as well. And this is to give some more credibility and information about the creator of the product, that they're actually a real person and they know what they are doing and what they are talking about. The next section here is
who is this for? And this might not be super important if you are selling a product that is a self-study thing. It's more important if you are actually going to work with this person like one-on-one, or if you're going to have them in your group programs, because then you really want to make sure that they are the right fit. Right? So this helps for them to self-identify whether they fit for this offer. This can be really powerful, especially this section down here where you're saying like what you don't want. Next section that is really helpful is the frequently asked questions. And the questions that you are going to put there are the ones that where you're basically handling any objections that they might have of buying this product. So one question that people always ask about self-study things is like, how long is this going to take me? How much time do I have to spend on this? Will this work for me or for my child? Do I need anything extra? Is there a refund policy? And if you have one, I would put it here. Or you could put, due to the digital nature of this product, there's no refund, da, da, da. You could also make a separate section for a guarantee, especially if it's a higher priced product. That can help a lot to reduce friction and hesitation. If you have a great product, there's probably nothing to fear about having a guarantee, and it can help so much to get people over the line. So something to consider. And then at the end, you want to have a last final call to action. It is basically the last option to close the sales. Again, give them the reasons of why they should get it, and a button which brings them back up to the form. And then you also want to have a little footer where it says your copyright, your business name, and your terms and conditions, privacy policy, and so on, especially important if you're going to run any ads to this page. And lastly, don't forget to check this on mobile and make sure that it is very easy to use and to actually purchase and check out as well, because so many people will do that on a mobile and you don't want to miss out on that.
I hope this was helpful and you understand now that a high converting sales page is less about being pretty and more about making sure that you've got these important bits of information in your page that helps somebody to say yes to your offer. Because if you do that, sales becomes so much easier and so much more predictable. So as I said, the sales funnel template is ready to use. The link is in the description. And if you haven't got your lead magnet funnel set up, then that is your next step. A simple lead magnet or freebie funnel helps you to collect email addresses, warm up your audience before you even send them to your sales page. So if this is for you, you can watch this video where I walk you through exactly how to do that. Otherwise, thank you for watching and I hope to see you next week.